want your last name to show up? I should have asked that.
Too late now.
I think
We're
you can
good
still
for that.
edit it.
No, I'm good. I'm good with it. The listeners need to know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so YouTube,
They-
we're live.
Yay. Hello, YouTube.
I can't believe you didn't get the agenda. I clearly sent it to your email.
No, I got it. I remember reading it.
Oh, okay.
I just couldn't remember if it was text or email. I got it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we've done a couple of these. We've gotten pretty efficient in like we recycled some of those questions. Full
These
disclosure.
were not recycled. We haven't talked Super Bowl with anybody.
You
Yeah.
copy pasted from somewhere. The format was all off. That's all I'm saying.
No, it was just Google Docs sucks. It's not Word. And when it translates to Outlook, it gets even worse.
Awesome.
You're right.
Awesome. Are you doing anything special for the game?
I'm going down to Bernay
To
Tomorrow
see the
evening.
pops.
to see the Pops, to see Maxwell. Speaking of new people, Maxwell. Talk about receding hairlines. That man's head is. Whew.
Good Lord. I did say that we're live, so if someone just randomly shows up and gets hurt, I have no control over that.
Oh, Max is in the air. He won't hear it.
Wait. You said we're recording but not live. Now we're live?
No, he said
No.
we're live on YouTube.
And now we're
Okay.
live on Facebook, so
And there we go.
Hello, Facebook.
We're not officially live until I see it.
Miller,
Oh,
when have
Mike.
I told you that we're not live and that we're not there?
So what's happening at the
Once, first time.
Oh my god. What's happening down in San Antonio for the game? Anything special? Should we
let's
fly
see.
down there?
I mean, obviously, Boopin, it's going to be a freaking party. We got Tom making old fashions every
I'm
day.
very. Has Max ever watched a game with my dad?
Yes, he was here for the what game was it? When they played the Browns. Yeah.
Oh, so
No.
not a real game. Okay, this will be fun.
What game was he even here for a game? No, he was not here in Texas for a game. He was in Thanksgiving. Max watched a game with your dad and I when they played the Ravens. Another great game.
Oh, so he kind of saw a gist of it.
Oh wait, Thanksgiving wasn't the Ravens, was it? No, that was Christmas Eve. Who is Thanksgiving?
I'm not seeing it, Nunez.
It's
The
live.
Thanksgiving game. The Thanksgiving game with a big old dub. But who was it against?
I can't believe you're not going to believe when I tell you that we're live, Miller.
We are live. I verified it.
See?
I don't see it.
It's on Trio Positivity.
I went
Oh wow, we have live caption too.
Oh, it was the Seahawks. That's who was the Thanksgiving game when we were in Seattle.
Man, what a year for you guys. What a run.
Dude, Brock Purdy is, and I've said it for a couple quarterbacks, but Brock Purdy is the truth.
Hey,
I
save
mean,
that
how do you-
save that for the recording. Come on, guys. Jesus.
Brock Purdy is the truth.
We're gonna get into that.
But like, how do you like draft Lance and then miss on it and then like pick up Purdy and he takes you to?
I wasn't a
to-
huge Lance fan right away. I wasn't.
Yeah.
I did not like the pick. As soon as I saw he's had like 12 total starts, I was like, why are we drafting on possibly good?
potential. Yeah.
Yeah, like potential. Like Niners didn't need potential. We needed a replacement for Jimmy G, and that wasn't it.
Boopin, can you send me the link? Can you share it to me via
Do-
text?
Yes, boss.
Miller gets very bossy, just putting it out there.
He's fine.
I'm just upset that I can't see it.
How do you share this? How do you post videos on Facebook?
I have way too many interests right now in my fucking life.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
It kind of is.
Nah.
I'm sending it to you via WhatsApp, Miller. I don't know why. That was the only.
I would just
Whatever.
trust Chris. I mean, you gotta take his word for it. He's not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, he usually doesn't lie.
Usually.
Usually, I don't know how to
just-
feel about that.
He may lie about some prop bets, but he ain't gonna lie about this.
That is
Open, you
fair.
just sent me the page. You didn't send me the video.
I am watching it. I don't know what to do, bro.
Can't you share it?
No, I don't get an option to share. I think I'm logged in as Trio.
I think this is a lot of user error, Michael.
Probably. But I'm interested
are you
in
trying to-
blasting it. We all know Papa Miller won't be able to find it unless I provide him the link.
I thought Papa Miller was joining.
Well, I meant joining, like just showing up.
Oh, digitally watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike, if I find this before you do, then there's gonna be
Yeah,
some
Miller-
issues.
I'll tag you. Let's see if this works. Okay, Miller, on Facebook. Do you get tagged on Facebook?
Yeah, I get tagged.
Okay, so. Wow. I think I'm logged in as Trio Positively. That's the problem.
It's not a problem.
Okay.
Did you tag me?
I did, brother.
My shit's all the fucked up.
Who invited this 80-year-old man into our podcast?
Seriously. I feel like my shit got hacked or something. I'm getting some weird shit.
It's all
I
right.
told you. Brooke did not make a new profile.
Just give Tom the YouTube link because Tom has YouTube TV. You can just throw it on his TV and watch us live.
That's true too.
That's true.
Papa Miller.
That's true.
I think if he just searches our name, Trail Positivity, we just show up on YouTube when we check.
Let's find out.
I got
It
that
worked
one.
if I typed it.
How do I fucking share this shit?
Okay, so I was not the only one that could figure out how to share it.
Yeah,
got
I
it.
typed in Trio Positivity on YouTube, and I can just tap on the live and join.
See? Look at
Okay.
that.
All right, we got to put this man to bed. He's been up.
Yeah, we do.
many
Okay,
hours.
I sent the link. Even though, did you guys send it out to people? Whatever.
I don't know how to share it.
Blast things on Facebook with my hacked Facebook page.
No, it's gonna hack your page. There's nothing in there.
There's nothing on my page worth hacking.
Boopin, I didn't see the crest. You Chelsea fan?
I
No.
used to be from Jose Mourinho days, so I don't know if I can still claim it, but
I was about to say
I
no,
did-
he is not.
I mean, I don't know.
I'm the
Jose-
only true soccer fan in the group.
That we all know that's not true. Because I am the most accurate. How do I
You're
phrase
a
it?
Soccer expert. Soccer
You
I am
can't
the
act- you can't
soccer
phrase it.
accuracy expert. We'll go with that one.
accuracy expert.
Because I got one of the World Cups right. I don't even remember which one it was.
True
Women's
fan.
or men's. I don't know.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. All right, boys and girls, thank you for joining us. Hope you are watching us live. Hello. I don't know how we're doing this. Are we playing the music, Chris? What are we doing? Are we pretending it's a podcast?
Well, yeah, we have to pretend it's a podcast. What do you mean?
All right, cool. Cool. So I'll do the intro. Metal, I will let you intro. Chino, you can put your own spin on it if you want.
Well, you could have just done it right there.
I'm planning to do a whole friggin' welcome to Trio.
Okay, let's do it.
I'm ready.
Okay,
Hold on.
Chris,
I'm
no
doing the
music?
thing so that Miller can stop
do-
bitching about not blasting stuff. So hold on.
right, let's talk something though. What should we talk about? Real life. People are not watching.
Has anyone seen Drake's wiener?
No.
Is this a
Unfortunately.
story?
No, he leaked
What?
his own wiener. That thing is massive, bro.
Okay, we all know that's not Drake's then. Come on. Come on.
Okay, that took a weird turn. I was not hoping that's where that would go. but-
Listen, we make sure we hit everything when it comes to our fans.
This is better than TMZ.
Yeah. Some people sometimes we just have to go that route.
Well, this is kind of like TMZ.
I mean,
I mean, the
I don't
topics
know,
that'll be
but-
discussed today are going to be TMZ relevant.
According to the agenda, they better be.
Gina, are you into F1 at all?
Not really, if I'm being
No.
honest. Not super into it. I've seen a lot of news come up lately about
Yeah.
it, but not super into it, unfortunately.
Yeah. So basically, their Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay
Mhm.
this off season. So like he's won like 7 world championships, and that's the record. So he's gonna go for the record next year, and then it's gonna be with Ferrari, who like I don't know, growing up Schumacher and the red car was everywhere. So it's gonna be that all
Mhm.
over again. So it's a huge week in F1.
All right, Miller, I put a post on Trio if you want to share that. I can't share it on my stuff. I don't know why.
Saying the content isn't available right now.
Okay, people, we gotta go. Let's
I
go.
don't know. I don't know what to tell you there, brother.
I don't think it's out on Facebook, is what I'm saying.
I've literally
Are you watching it on your profile? Are you watching your profile or Trio Positivity profile?
On my profile, because I know what I'm. I was
Doing?
gonna say, I know
Guys,
what I'm doing.
What do we need to get started? Okay.
Okay. Fine.
Okay, Trio shared it. Let's see if anyone's watching.
Let's go.
Doesn't look like anyone's watching. Okay, Chris, you know the music. Let's pretend it's a podcast.
It's not that it's. Let's pretend it is a podcast.
It is a podcast.
Jesus.
I'm gonna post this as a regular podcast too. Asking for
Yeah,
the
that's the
fans.
idea. All right, everyone ready? Here we go. Music's gonna play here.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Hello. Welcome to a Trio of Positivity podcast. It may be Quattro of Positivity. We'll find out later. We appreciate you joining us today. We're just friends talking about the Chicago sports, trying to find some positivity. It is the big game this weekend. As everyone knows. We are here to celebrate it. I'm excited for this, boys. I'm your host, Boo Pan, joined as always by my fellow Positive Brigade members, Miller and Chris. What's up, boys?
Howdy.
Wow, so much energy.
What up, dog? I've been watching a lot of Scrubs shit, so yeah, that's how it comes out.
Quick social plug before we get started. You can find us on Facebook. Hopefully, you're watching us live on the Trio Positivity podcast at Twitter. We are at Trio Positivity. We're on YouTube at Trio Positivity Podcast. We may or may not have a TikTok. It's not clear yet. We have a new website, triopositivity.com. With all that being said, I'm going to hand this mic over to Mike Miller.
Okay. Great introduction, Boopin. Great
Very.
introduction. It's not like this is like the 37th episode or anything.
It's not like we've
Welcome,
done this
ladies
so
and
many
gentlemen. We have a great episode for you today. We have a special guest joining us all the way from Tejas, Gino, my future brother-in-law. Hopefully, if he doesn't fuck it up, but who knows what's going to happen there.
Fingers crossed. We'll see.
times. Jesus.
And
Wow.
we're
Lots of
doing a
stuff
special
there.
episode because it is Super Bowl week. We have the Niners against the Chiefs happening Sunday. And unfortunately / fortunately, the Niners are my second team, and most of my family are Niners fans. And Gino, I dragged him on because I'm like, dude, come teach us about the Niners way. So hopefully maybe the Bears can take something from your success. But
Maybe they
Gino,
can
thank
learn
you
something.
for coming on. We appreciate it very much.
Of course, I'm excited to be here, guys. I'm ready to talk to the sports world about Chicago teams and the only real team here, but that's up for debate.
Shots early.
Hey,
Can't help it.
it's very fair, very fair. After all that being said, let's talk about Chicago Bears.
Yeah. The only great team, kind of. The only great drafting team. Yeah, fuck yeah.
In the last 2 years,
Kind of. Maybe.
Well, we have a lot to talk about the Super Bowl, but Gino, we thought it might be fun to start. You shared something already offline about how you feel about our situation here, but more questions along those route. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. As a Niners fan, you see what building a team around and then getting a quarterback has done to your franchise, right? You were a playoff team. You have been a playoff team for a while. But you never had that superstar quarterback. Do you feel the team or the quarterback is more important to the success of the organization? Starting off heavy over here.
It really just kind of depends on who's running the show. I mean, we got lucky with Lynch and Shanahan taking over at the same time. New GM, new coach, both at once. You're not having any staggering, no difference of opinion right off the bat. So that definitely helped. But I mean, Niners traded for Jimmy Garoppolo to start. We thought Jimmy was going to be the guy. He took us to a Super Bowl and didn't finish. I mean, it happened the next few years, injuries, get us somewhere, then doesn't finish in the playoffs. So I think the quarterback, obviously, a big piece of it. But if you have a guy that you know is capable, start building when you can. Don't try and find that perfect piece right away because you just won't get there. You got to build what you can.
That's very fair. That's very fair. And we're hoping over in Chicago that we're taking the right steps to do that. Obviously, we've made some trades over the last few years. Some of them worked out. Some of them didn't with Chase Claypool and whatnot. But the biggest question going into 2024 for the Bears, and I'm sure it's all over TV, it's all over social media. It's probably the third most talked about thing in sports right now behind the Super Bowl and Taylor Swift, obviously. But we'll get into that in a second. But is the Fields versus Caleb Williams dynamic. Now, we've all kind of voiced our opinions on this on previous episodes. But as an outsider, give me your opinion. What do you think of Fields first and foremost?
I mean, I like Fields. I don't think it's fair to him to just dump him on the side of the road. Yeah, I get you got to start over and rebuild, but why do you got to dump the quarterback first? I mean, you've seen glimpses of him the past 2 years of how great he can be when people are healthy. You guys have a good roster. I mean, you have Darnell Mooney right now. You have
DJ Moore.
You have two solid receivers right there.
Mooney's about to get cut, bro.
I don't know. I like Mooney. I like Mooney too. But no, Cole Kmet and DJ Moore, definitely your top two right there. Both came out very heavy at the end of the season. You get a decent running back and another good receiver in the draft. I think you guys are fine. And maybe an O-lineman or two.
Can we cut that and send that to the Bears right away?
Yeah, Boopin would be standing outside of Hallis Hall with a sign if he didn't have work. Bring back Fields! I mean, I get the points. I get the logic. I'm just not there. He hasn't shown enough consistency. And may I add that it's quite funny coming from a Niners fan to show loyalty towards their quarterback when they've basically cut one and traded another one that they've brought in.
We want, that's a fair jab. But think of it this way: Fields has had how many different OCs in the last few years? Yeah. 3 now, I think, right? Something like that. That's
technically
3. It's hard for any quarterback to change 3 different offenses.
Well, that's my argument. That's like everybody says that, but now you're going to bring in a 4th offensive coordinator, a new offense for him to learn, and he's on his 4th year. So if he doesn't get it this year, you're ideally going to pick up that 5th option if you're going to keep him, and then you're looking at paying him $20-something million, not even knowing if he can run this offense. So I get it. I'm just very skeptical of things. Moving on from Fields, we know your opinion there. Do you have any thoughts on Caleb Williams? He is the quote-unquote generational talent coming out of USC, a former Heisman Trophy winner. Have you watched any of his games this year? or in the
I
past?
saw one or two. I saw the Colorado game, and I saw the game against Oregon. And Caleb Williams he is great, but Caleb Williams has also let up a lot. Like, I get he doesn't have a defense, so he gets to step up and throw, but is that going to last him his entire career? I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah, basically what I'm seeing a lot of is that he's very similar to Fields. Like everybody is like, why would you want to trade the same quarterback? Well, because you get to start the clock over and because he has a chance to improve, whereas Fields hasn't improved that much over the past few years. So that's my argument.
That's fair.
I don't know where I'm at, to be honest with you. Few episodes I was all about keeping Fields just because I didn't like keeping Eberflus. I didn't like that. I thought it was a horrible move. And now we're staring at this and I don't know how to feel. So I'm going to be okay either way, but I just don't know if I'm willing to pass on generational.
I just don't know if you have that run game or that quarterback run option with Caleb that you have with Fields.
You definitely don't. There's no denying his athletic ability and his quote unquote dynamic nature that he has. It's just, can you win in the NFL without being an elite passer? And Baltimore is one of those teams that you constantly point to as Lamar hasn't proven himself to be an elite passer in the playoffs. So the question is can you win like that when it matters?
Yeah. Philly did it.
I mean, 49ers are arguing.
49ers there too, to an extent.
To an extent.
No, but like quick props to your system, man. You guys I know we're talking about the Bears, but damn, I was looking at the list of coaches that have been stolen from you guys and you keep getting the third round picks, right? Compensatory picks, but then like there's 4 or 5 head coaches, couple of GMs now from your org. Like you have a machine that's churning out talent like nobody's business.
The biggest thing we've definitely lost is the defensive coordinator. I think 2 years in a row now. We lost Saleh, then we lost DeMeco Ryan. And I hope we lose Wilkes, in my opinion. I'm not a fan of the Wilkes defense. I don't like it.
All right. Well, before we get into the meats of this conversation and talking about the big game, it wouldn't be Super Bowl week without bringing in some fun topics from Vegas. So let's start with gambling and the whole Las Vegas dynamic. I was listening to something today when I came across that in 2019, that was 5 years ago, Tony Romo, who wasn't in the league at the time, was not permitted to do an interview inside a casino. And now we're looking at multiple teams in the city of Las Vegas, potentially one more with the Bay Area Oakland A's moving. Like, what are our thoughts on teams in the Las Vegas area? Obviously, we haven't really seen too many gambling incidents. We've seen some other questionable activity from players in that city. But what are your thoughts, Jake, in general on anybody? Just like Las Vegas has sports teams. Anybody?
I mean,
no?
I think Vegas has long deserved it. I think, there's a lot of risk that came with it. I mean, we saw the Raiders incident 2 years ago now, right? Was that 2 years ago? With that young wide receiver, with Ruggs speeding down one of the roads and hitting and killing a woman. I mean, that was, I know, probably not great for the city of Las Vegas and their proposal to get teams, but you had the Knights first. You now got the Raiders, and you mentioned the Oakland A's. I think the NFL has definitely opened up to having more teams. Maybe not the NFL, but just sports organizations in general are more open to having teams in Vegas. And I think it's a great destination. That's where people are going to go. Like, you're not going to go visit. No offense, but no offense to you guys, for like Washington D.C. You're not going to go out there all the time for a game. You're going to want to go to somewhere that's flashy. You're going to have stuff to do outside the game. Vegas is that destination.
Fun.
And it's funny you mentioned that because right now it was announced a couple days ago that Brazil is going to host an NFL game with the Eagles going down there. So it's interesting to see what people actually think of all of these international games and then how you compare Vegas to it. Go ahead, Boobin.
No, like it's been fascinating. Vegas is still Vegas. Andy Reid, like Chiefs, they had a meeting right when they landed as to what the policy is and what's allowed, not allowed. Patrick Mahomes told the team, "Hey, like this is a business trip. Make it like a business trip the rest of the way. When we win, I am gonna fly you back here, and we're gonna have a weekend in Vegas." Like it has the distractions, right? But
When
the
they
teams that
win.
do it well, yeah, like I don't know. You have to say something, right? It's like
Yeah.
fascinating, but like you were absolutely right. Like people going to Vegas is already fun, right? Every single one of us, if we say, "Hey, let's go to Vegas," no one would probably say no. But like when you add a team in there, when I was there, I tried to get into game for the Knights, just because it looks fun to go see, right? Like I was there for a conference, I was like, let's go see Knights, and then like just things like that. That it's already fun to go to. The sports team just add more stuff to it, but I'm sure it's not fun being an administrator and one of these team coaches in one of these teams. Like you're probably like a high school teacher, like like at a prom and being like, "Hey, leave room for Jesus." That's what it probably feels like every day. But I'm not like
No, I
and they've
agree.
had success too. They've had success too. Knights won right away.
Yeah.
Like that was always good for them too.
And that's not even.
I'm not a fan of the NHL. I'm not a fan of
success.
the NHL expansion rules. They get to pick apart players from other teams. I mean, that's a little.
Yeah.
It's
That's
a way
tough.
to guarantee, though, that some possible stars get to that city without them having to spend all that money at first. But
Yeah, I get it.
Um,
It's just tough when you have an expansion team take some of their other team's best players and they're immediately
Well,
good.
no, they can lock a
Obviously,
few. They
They
can
can
lock
You
a
lock
few.
Yeah.
a few.
A few, yeah. That's the point.
but I was gonna
we
say
got the
though,
Kraken. It's like a great
Kraken
team,
are great.
great name. I know, but
Great
the
team,
logo
great name.
too? Yeah. Like props to them.
the main success
Overdue
that
from
came out
Seattle.
of Vegas was the amount of season tickets they sold. Like
Yes.
they were yearning for something. And even though I don't like Oakland, I mean, I've heard all the stories about the Oakland A's and stuff. It's interesting how they want to set up a baseball team in Vegas. It's just it's summer and it's not domed. I don't know how they're gonna do that.
That's a good point. I mean, the
That's
MLB
fair.
isn't the same draw as these other teams are, right? Like the cool thing about Vegas having an NFL team is it's now a destination to watch NFL games. Like
Mhm.
every year when you're playing Vegas in Vegas, you're going to talk with your boys and your friends about possibly doing a trip to watch the Bears or the Niners in Vegas to watch a game, right? It's such a destination, and it is long overdue. And the fact that they waited as long as they did, it's crazy because it's been a span of 5 years, but with the NFL basically having a no touching policy of casinos, and now in the next year or two, maybe 3, you're going to see sports books integrated into the NFL stadiums. It's just the transition there is just going to be.
I mean, you
crazy.
see the ads. I mean, NFL is sponsored by what's it? Not FanDuel, but is it FanDuel?
DraftKings?
DraftKings. Absolutely, yeah. They're endorsing gambling at this point.
Well, I did
Like,
hear that they are actually, I don't know the limits, but there's actually limits as to how much gambling advertising they can do on broadcasts. I had to leave when I was listening to this, but they did talk about it. I felt that was kind of interesting. I haven't really noticed it myself because all I do, it sticks out with a sore thumb right next to all the pharmaceutical commercials, So,
Yeah.
but it was interesting to find out that they do have some sort of limitations on that.
I mean, it was just a matter of time. Like you mentioned, Vegas was way overdue. It didn't matter what team was going there. I mean, Vegas was going to take them on wholeheartedly and make them their team.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We'll
Like,
see
I
if
don't
they
know.
can get it done with Antonio Pierce.
Hey, they turned it around at the end
I
of the
know.
season. I think they might be able to.
Yeah. I
Will
think
it be
Well,
Luke
they have
contenders?
the greatest offensive coordinator now. Apparently,
Yeah, Luke Getsy. Come on, everybody, take a friggin' bow.
He turned around Fields.
definitely
Turn him
turned
around,
something
all right. Turned him around, all right.
All right, let's get
All
right into it. Actually, my stuff just blanked out. I'll leave it to you guys. I got
Yeah, you can't bring that type of enthusiasm for this next topic, Chris. We need to bring
get out of here.
full on enthusiasm because we're going to be talking about a little Tay-Tay. Okay, let me hear that shake it off in the background, please. Taylor Swift, front and center, Super Bowl. All right, we've all heard the noise. The Republicans are freaking out. Taylor's going to be endorsing Biden during the Super Bowl. She might even be coming out topless. Nobody freaking knows.
Jesus.
Okay. Realistically, what is everybody's thoughts on Taylor Swift? Is she annoying? Are you annoyed with the entire thing? What is your thoughts?
Well, let's let our guest answer first. Go ahead.
Gino, you go first.
I am annoyed. I am very annoyed. And I'm not annoyed at Taylor. I am annoyed at the NFL making Taylor their center of attention. She's obviously not trying to be the center of attention. It is the NFL forcing that Taylor and Travis Kelce relationship onto everybody else.
Question for you. Would you have felt similarly if she was dating someone on the 49ers?
Yes, because now everything on SportsCenter is about Taylor Swift and the Kelce and how he's performed, or how whoever someone's dating famous is just performing. And don't get me wrong, it's great for the NFL. They're bringing in all these new fans just for
revenue.
Well, I shouldn't say NFL is bringing in new fans to the NFL. Taylor Swift is bringing fans for the Kansas City Chiefs, and that's about it. But it does bring more to it. It ups viewership, so it does make sense why the NFL is pushing it.
So
Right.
Are you more annoyed with the outside of game day noise, or are you annoyed with the on-screen during the game type of shit?
Little bit of both. Like,
So the
outside
44
is a little
seconds
much.
really hurt you?
it's annoying. I'm trying to look at the game, not one person in the stands.
I don't
Every-
know.
every time a catch.
I don't know.
Every catch.
I don't know.
I'm very much indifferent.
Taylor.
I'm fine with it. What's funny is like a lot of the TikToks and YouTube shorts that are coming out of the Swifties planning Super Bowl parties and stuff. And I saw one video where two ladies, I should say, I don't know if it was girls, but two ladies were planning a Super Bowl party, and they showed how they're like decorating. One of the best comments that had the most liked views is like, I can't believe these Taylor Swift fans have only been watching football for like 9 weeks and they already do Super Bowl parties better than experienced NFL fans.
Okay, the memes, the videos, I'm here for it. I feel like they've added another level of fun to it for sure. But I totally forgot. Of like, I don't know, like I had a point, I promise, but like I totally forgot what that.
I'll go. So I don't think she's taking too much from the game itself. It's 44 seconds. At the end of the day, I think it was like 0.4% of the broadcast was Taylor Swift. I do understand the annoyance of seeing so many talking points on sports centric shows. That kind of gets a little much. And again, we all know it's not Taylor's fault. This is NFL, this is Disney, this is all ESPN. They're all pushing the agenda because they know it's going to get views. But
Kinda like
overall,
what
I
we're
think
doing right now.
yeah, of course, duh. Overall, I think it's a net positive. I mean, you hear the stories, the heartbreaking stories of these fathers that are now getting to connect with their daughters because they want to see Taylor, so they're watching the NFL games with them and stuff like that. So you do have that positive twist to this entire scenario.
Yeah, I get that. It does make sense, but I think, yeah, like I mentioned before, the off-screen comments on ESPN, on SportsCenter, on other podcasts, on other shows, on the Today Show, when they talk about the Super Bowl, it's about Taylor Swift and its Kansas City Chiefs, not just the Kansas City Chiefs.
But
Okay,
it's
I have
a
two
true.
questions.
Go ahead.
Whenever, no, after your comments, I have two.
No, you already have two in your two fingers showing up, so you might as well. Go
Okay,
for it.
first, will she even be there? Like everyone's.
Yeah, it's
like,
she'll
already-
make it. I don't know why
Duh.
people are questioning this. She'll make
She's
it.
gonna make it.
It was like something crazy. The Japanese embassy had to put out a little statement
saw
saying,
that.
yes, she will be there. Like, here's the flight, how long it's taking. I thought that was hilarious.
I thought that was towards the Japanese population because they were confirming to their the people that were going to the concert, that she would be able to, she's going to perform. I believe. I could have read that wrong, but that's what I thought.
Okay. The second part of this question is probably more futuristic. Will the relationship last the off season? Into
Oh,
next
okay.
Oh.
We're not doing that. Come
Yes,
on
we
now.
are.
No. We don't speculate that shit. Come on, guys.
Okay.
We're better than that.
Okay, well let's take a step back because we are going to answer that question. But before that, we want to move to after the game, and I'm going to ruffle some feathers here. If Kansas City wins, will Taylor propose or will Kelsey propose to Taylor on the field?
No.
Why are we even bringing this up? It has nothing to do with the general fact of football. Like that has.
This
nothing
is
Have
what
you looked
I've been. This is what has been bothering me, Michael. These comments, these talking points.
I think
I'm ready for-
Boopin.
I'm ready for Chris's comments. I'm sorry. I'm done with the Taylor talk.
I was just gonna say, like, if it wasn't for Taylor, there'd be a lot of like women who are married have relationship with men that know that Sunday is sacred when it comes to NFL football, and it's like now there's more people watching it. So like, what's gonna end up happening now is more like. I think it's going to be brought up more in the Super Bowl. I think this one is going to break records. I think this one is going to be the most watched, the most streamed. The halftime show will probably be the most criticized because it's not Taylor performing, obviously.
Well, it could be. It could be.
But
Yeah.
we all know, like if the Chiefs win, we all know what the commercial is going to be for Disney. It's going to be.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Taylor and Kelsey.
Disney's going to push
historic.
it out. But see, this is what I'm saying though. Like this is just an upward trend for the NFL, and people have to be thankful for Taylor Swift, even though it's annoying to see it on SportsCenter, like where they talk about that kind of stuff. The numbers don't lie. I think because she was there at the 2 playoff games, I think didn't both games have the highest viewed games of the playoffs, I believe.
I didn't see that, but she brought over 300 million for NFL this season.
Social media for the NFL is higher than ever. Like,
It's true. She's a story. It'll be interesting to see how they treat the dynamic on Sunday. I thought there was going to be a little less talk about her during this week with her being in Japan performing, but that was not the case. So, well, let's start to transition slowly into the game speak. Obviously, Sunday, Super Bowl, gambling. It's basically
Miller,
all
how
one
fucking
thing.
dare you, superb owl. We had this discussion last episode.
Yeah, and I vetoed that
Superb
because it's
owl.
not true. So, Super Bowl, Sunday, gambling. Let's go. Let's talk some novelty prop bets. We're not going to get into the nuts and bolts on who's going to do things on the field. We're going to get into the nuts and bolts of the other things. I have a few questions for you all. If you guys can shoot off some answers quickly, we'll kind of keep track and we'll go over in a future episode. Question 1. The first thing that happens at the Super Bowl before kickoff, you know it. We all sing it. The national anthem. It is being performed by Reba McEntire,
Ooh.
and the over-under is 90.5 seconds. Where we're at.
Bang the over all
Oh,
day. All day.
Okay. Chris?
I'm thinking, did the over hit last year? I think the overs hit multiple times. hasn't
No, it
It
hasn't
was
hit
off
last year
by,
because
like,
I think
It was up to like 0.01 seconds or something like
It was
that.
really close.
That was
Right
the controversial one, right?
hmm
I don't
No,
think
that was
it
Chris Stapleton
controversial.
last year.
Yeah.
You talking about the timing of it,
The
or
timing of it. I think some
yes?
some places had like different times because it's when the last note ends or it's when the person's done singing it. So like I know that there's disclaimers in some of the sites there. 90 and a half, minute and a half. I've lasted less than that. So I'm gonna go under. I think I'm gonna go under. I think that's gonna be the route to go. And there's nothing wrong with Reba finishing early. Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
He makes his women sing. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
I'm going to go over. Hit the over on that bad boy as well.
Now, over is a good bet. Country singer. I think she will milk it, but I don't know. I went it under.
All right, next up. Coin flip. Heads or tails. Pick your poison.
I'm going to go
Tails
with
never
tails.
fails. Yeah, oop, tails never fails till it does.
Who's the away team to pick first? Is it Kansas City?
49ers.
I'm gonna go heads.
I'll go with Chris. I'll go heads.
Okay.
We're just gonna split this thing 50-50 every time we have a question, or
Well,
what?
see, this is the one that we don't have
I love
anything
it.
prepped on the agenda, so we don't know what Miller's asking.
Damn straight.
So,
Well, the first one was 3
It's a
overs and
gimme.
1 under.
yeah, it's a gimme.
No.
All right, Chris's every year bet. First offensive play, run or pass.
Oh. Run, baby. Run, baby.
Gotta be
Well,
wrong.
who gets the ball first? That's
Well, that's the fun of it, isn't it? I'm
I'm
gonna go with run.
gonna go with run.
Oh, this is a clean sweep.
That's you know there is another one that I enjoy that I want to see if you know it, Miller.
Probably not. All right, next we're gonna be jumping into the halftime show. Usher is going to be performing, and rumor has it that we may have an appearance from Little John.
Ooh.
Who's Little John and Luda? It's just
Luda?
rumors. Rumors. But we all know, I don't even know if Gino was alive in Usher's heyday. But
Hey, I was there. I remember Usher. My first concert was an Usher concert. Fun
Oh,
fact.
no
no.
shit.
Yeah.
fact.
So he
That's
knows.
awesome.
All right.
What's the first song?
What is going to be the first song performed? I have a list of the top favorites. I don't have the
No,
odds.
don't
so
give the list.
add.
Don't give the list.
No,
I want
no,
to
don't
see.
read it.
I want to see our
Yeah.
answers just in the general. I want to go last because I know what my answer is already.
Okay, should we make him go first? Gino, you were on the spot. You go first.
You have the option of other if you're gonna not a bigger song.
It's hard I'm trying to think of some of the songs that aren't slow.
Okay, I know.
Um,
I know it's gonna be a slow jam.
I would think it's gonna
like
be
something.
my first guess is either More or Burn. Those are my top two.
That's a great. Burn is an all-time classic for me. That's a great answer.
It is.
That's not
It
what I
is.
would have picked as number one. My number one is gonna be DJ Has Us Falling in Love Again. I think
Yep,
that's a
that's up here.
banger. I think that's a banger that it can get the people up. I don't think you bring out your special guest from the very get-go. I think
Very good point.
I think the ending is gonna be yeah.
Oh,
I think
thought
the
that was
ending
first.
is gonna be yeah, but you don't bring in your special guest at the beginning.
Oh, you're so right. Oh, you're making me change my. I don't know the Usher discography that well, but I really like the DJ
right.
Fallen with DJ Got Us Falling in Love. I think Chris is onto something there, so I'm gonna go with that one.
Like I think it's gonna be a slow song. Like I can just see the lights and he's just like doing his thing. Like
Don't
just-
ever
just one of-
start off with a slow song.
Like I don't think he'll sing the whole thing, but it'll be like a good start. Like so, like he's not dancing right away. I think that's what it's gonna be. But I'll go
mean,
with yeah.
If that's the case, you could do like You Don't Have to Call, or you could even do You Make Me Wanna, which is an all-time classic. But I don't know if like we're talking like starting the Super Bowl off with a bang. And I think the only upbeat song that can kind of do that for him is DJ Got Us Falling in Love. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I think Chris is right with the. I do think they're going to be guests, even though my Twitter feed's kind of skeptical right now. We don't know, but I do think they're going to be Luda and Little John there. And I think Chris is right. They're not going to have guest appearances to start off the Super Bowl. So I think that's a really good bet. All right. The last one I have. What color is the liquid getting dumped on the winning head coach? Gatorade, what is it?
I got it right last year, and I always pick it. I think it's going to be purple, the grape color.
Oh!
It's always lowest odds. It was the grape last year. I like purple.
Ooh, that's good. Let's go with the classic orange.
That's your classic?
I was going to say orange, and it's not.
It's lemon lime, baby. What do you mean?
Lemon.
I'll
lime is
round
the
it out.
best.
I'll round it out with a blue.
Blue.
Also,
Chris, what's your official pick?
lemon lime all day. Also, while we were talking, I forgot about one song for Usher. I'm gonna go in a fucking turnaround because I hate it. It's fuck, I can't. I gotta go look for it now. God damn it, I had it at the top of my head, but you guys, with orange being a top color, I was already losing it. So hold on, I gotta find this fucking song.
Okay.
Was it
come
My
back to
Boo? Confessions Part 2?
Listen,
You Make
Confessions
Me
Part 2 is a
Wanna?
banger. My Boo, I could definitely see it like being like,
It's
because
gonna
you
be
know how
incorporated.
some people like to do the slow and then pew, like to bring it
Yes.
up and whatnot. There's one song that is like a head, like they call it a head nodder. If you can do this at the beginning, it's a good one. But I can't remember
Mhm.
the actual name of the song.
You know what might be the first song? His little from his recent album when it's like the meme when they're like talking about him, like it's him like just like bobbing and singing whatever song. That's like that just came out. It was a whole meme and thing. I think that's how it's gonna start this whole thing. Like it's gonna be so dumb. All right, Chris, we have one more. I don't know if Miller will allow us if you want to throw in your favorite one that you wanted to cover.
Yeah, go
If you
for
have
it, Chris.
Sorry, I was researching. What was the?
What's your second favorite bet?
Yeah, what's your second favorite bet that you didn't think Miller would get it?
Well, he definitely got the songs. So that one is probably my favorite one. The run, and obviously Who Calls the First Time Out is also a fun one because I think when we were watching the Super Bowl together, I think the first time out came in within like 4 plays or something, which was not expected. So I think the first time out is definitely there. My favorite is Will There Be a Streaker?
Ooh.
That's probably my favorite prop bet that not a lot.
But see, here's the thing. A lot of the times you're not going to know, right?
That's the point of a novelty prop, though.
No, I mean, like, he could be off camera.
Yeah, he
they'll,
can.
like, pan away.
He can. But you know how they confirm it though? Like they confirm it because if it's off camera, they talk about. He's like, well, we got an idiot on the field there. You know, Tony Romo.
Maybe.
Also,
I'm gonna
Chris,
say. I want to say yes, just for the fuck.
I want to say yes. It's Vegas. Was
that's a valid point.
Was it OMG with Will I Am? Was that the headbanger song you were thinking of, Chris?
Yeah. See, and then I'm like, there's what's the other song that's not a headbanger, but it's like Love in This. Oh, it's Love in This Club. Love in This Club. It's not a fast song, but it's like it's a catchy little like gets your head going.
I'm reliving my 90s or early 2000s just listening to this.
If I am a betting man, it's either You Remind Me or You Got It Back.
You remind me of a girl.
I think it's no, see, because I want to say like it's You Make Me Wanna. Okay, I'm gonna I would do a 3-way bet. It would be You Make Me Wanna. It would be You Make Me Wanna would be my first choice. DJ's Got Us Falling in Love Again, which is 2, and then it's either gonna be You Remind Me 3. I don't think he does You Got It Bad first, but when he does You Got It Bad, it's gonna be in the middle. I believe You Got It Bad is in the middle. That has to be.
I think I had to change my answer from Burn to OMG with Will I Am. I think that's got to be the first one.
Is that better? Is that better than DJ Got Us Falling in Love though as an opener?
As an opener, yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, because you can ease into it and then you can bring in DJ Got Us Falling in Love Again after.
But see,
I think you start.
But he's not bringing in you. Why would you if Will I Am is not on the show? Then
you
yes,
don't know
I see your point.
Show.
No, I see your point.
He's probably not. I mean, he could be. I don't know.
But do you need Will I Am? You can just play the audio in the stadium.
You don't need Will I Am.
You don't, but it's a Super Bowl. It'd be fun.
But how many guests are they going to have?
As many as he wants.
I mean, we had 5. We had 5.
No, that was
L.A.
That was a special one, though.
That was a special one.
It's always a special one.
You knew it was going to be that many, though.
Like when Snoop showed up, you knew Eminem was showing up. When Eminem showed up, you know.
You didn't know 50 Cent was showing up.
You didn't, but you couldn't figure it out.
With...
All right, let's get into the nuts and bolts. The kid wants to go to sleep. Let's talk Super Bowl. Let's talk Kansas City 49ers. All right. And then let's start off talking about about Mr. Irrelevant. Brock Purdy.
Yes.
Your quarterback. It's very similar to the Brady Belichick dynamic. And a lot of people are giving most of the credit to Shanahan. Where do you stand with him? Are you, when I say the Brady Belichick dynamic, I say like that when they broke up, they took two separate paths, right? Who is the leader, or do you think it's the combination of both of them?
I think right now where he's at, it's definitely a big combination. I mean, you go back and look at Purdy in college. I mean, he did the same thing in college. Like he wasn't doing anything different that he isn't doing now. I think now it's just on a bigger stage and he's getting more recognized. But I definitely think him having the weapons helps. I don't think it's the whole thing. It definitely helps. I'm not going to deny that. But I think Purdy being in that Shanahan offense early and learning from Trey Lance, learning from Jimmy G, being on the practice squad definitely helped him become ready for where he is right now.
Wow.
That's actually a great answer.
That's such an amazing question and answer. Well done, both of you. No,
Thank
like,
you.
He, like one of the coolest thing I've seen is like he makes a mistake and he's made some, but like he just moves on. He's just like I think a quarterback that's like probably highly drafted, like maybe would hold on to it, play conservative. He's just so fearless. I love that.
He just gets right back into it, and that's what you need to do every time. He doesn't change his game. He just goes back out and keeps going. And the best part about it is the team pushes him to keep going too. Like you see these clips online, George Kittle's like, just keep slinging it. Even at the what is that, halftime last week or 2 weeks ago, George Kittle told him like, I can't. We'll get into the George Kittle comment after. George Kittle's like, I can't wait to tell everybody after the game. Like they had us in the first half, not gonna lie. You just keep slinging it. And then at the end of the game, what is George Kittle's like? They had us in the first half. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow,
that was something. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I doubted Purdy at the beginning of the year. Like I didn't think he would be able to repeat his performance from last year. I do think, whereas Brady seemed to have dominated that, I think it kind of proved itself out when Brady left. I do think right now Kyle Shanahan deserves more of the credit because of that offense. But you know what? Brock Purdy's putting up amazing numbers, so you can't deny that he isn't one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. Regardless of who the play caller is, he's putting it on the spot. He's putting it to where these guys can get it and run. And he's impressed me beyond what I actually thought.
What's hard is hearing around the NFL, people still, anytime he makes a mistake, they pounce on him right away. There's no forgiveness. There's no leeway. And you got to look at it like this kid was number 272 in the draft, 262 in the draft. Started his first NFL game halfway through 2022 season. Came out, 2022 season. Came out, killed it, won, 8 straight games.
Yeah.
Got injured in the NFC Championship game, and they lost. Obviously, it was a tough game. We went through 2 quarterbacks that game. I mean, it was a hard watch. But he comes back the next season after undergoing surgery and just picks up where he left off. I mean, you lead the NFL in every stat that they track. He's leading it, I think, except for maybe rushing yards. But every passing,
all the big
passing one, he leads.
Passing stats, yeah.
He leads, and you still get discrepancies like, oh, he's just a game manager. Like, you tell me it's a game manager is doing all this? Like, no.
Freaking Mahomes is a game manager this year. Like, it's not a bad thing.
I think that's a different argument, though. Like, a lot of it is a team dynamic. The one thing that I think Purdy has done, which a lot of people don't really talk about, is he has put a statement when it comes to the superstar QB, and that you need a superstar QB to reach certain goals. With Purdy, you don't see that. He's becoming a superstar for sure. Will he be a superstar in a team that's stacked full of superstars? I don't think so. I think someone I can't remember if it was.
I think it was Cam
ESPN.
Newton.
Was it Cam where he said that he's the best 10th, like he's the 10th best player?
Yep.
He's right. Newton. Like there's nothing wrong with that, and he's right. And the 10th best player on that team is top 2, top 3 in any other team in the NFL.
I know that I'm not a fan of how Cam Newton's been treating this whole situation with Purdy. He's just,
but
he
he's
doesn't
not
give
wrong
any credit.
though.
I'm not saying he's wrong about the 10th. I'm not saying he's not wrong about the 10th best player, but he still doubts that Purdy can be a good quarterback outside of the system, and I think that's where he's wrong. I think
he said it. The thing is, though, Cam Newton said it in a disrespectful way.
I don't think so. I honestly
thought he
don't
did.
think so. I think he
thought he
said it
did,
in a
but-
way where he's been a quarterback. He's been the superstar of a team. He's led a franchise. And Purdy is not those things, but people are elevating him to be that. So the standard of Purdy has gone higher to where all of these quarterbacks can talk about him. But everyone else puts Purdy in this lower bracket where it's like, well, no, if he's doing this to get this recognition, but he's really this kind of player, yeah, those guys that are there can definitely talk about why he can or can't do certain things. I think he's fine in that aspect. But if you're talking about a game manager, one of the best game managers out there was Tom Brady. And so, like,
No.
yes.
No.
You're telling me Tom Brady was not a game manager?
He made plays like so many times in the Super Bowl. Game managers
Like
don't make
nobody's
plays.
business.
They just don't lose the game.
He's lost Super Bowl games.
Yeah, and he's also
Both
won it
could
because of
Eli
himself.
Manning.
Exactly. So, like, what I'm saying, though, is during the season and the way that Purdy plays, I see a lot of game management comparisons to what Tom Brady did.
That's
The
not
difference
a
between-
game manager.
I think
A
the
game
difference
manager
between-
is an irrelevant piece on the team that just throws
No, you're-
throws short passes
Yes,
and is
Yes.
told not to fucking screw it up.
Yeah,
yes,
like,
that is a
li-
game
li-
manager. It's the game manager novelty or not novelty. The tag is not a compliment. It's been you're doing what you need to do. You're not doing
disagree
anything special.
Wholeheartedly, I disagree.
Who was
Like,
the game manager? I'm leaning on like
Alex-
Flacco, but I don't think Flacco was good.
Alex
He-
Smith.
He didn't make a
he
Super Bowl,
didn't
I
make
don't
the
think.
Super Bowl. Some people thought it was Eli at one point.
There was I forgot. It was like one of those.
Kurt
Cousins?
Warner at
Cousins.
one point. I
No,
think,
it was
labeled
not
as that.
Kurt Warner.
When he was in
Kirk
Arizona.
Cousins?
Kirk Cousins hasn't made a Super Bowl. I know he's not a game man, but I think Kirk Cousins is a game manager. If I'm being completely honest.
No,
Yeah.
no. Before you, you're not talking Kirk Cousins. He's talking. Who said Kirk
No, I'm
Cousins?
talking Kirk. I did.
He's
Yeah, I'm
talking
saying Kirk Cousins.
But Miller and I are talking about like Super Bowl quarterbacks that are quote unquote game managers, and I think you guys are more directing. as
There
to
was one that
overall.
I'm forgetting.
Well, there you
Wait,
go.
I don't
There's a
know if
game.
it was
Didn't
Matt
make a Super
Hasselbeck.
Bowl?
It might have been Matt Hasselbeck. But
What
Okay.
year are you
regardless.
thinking? When are you thinking of this? Like last 10 years or?
It wouldn't be Hasselbeck in the
historically,
last 10.
I mean, I don't think there's a lot of game managers that make the Super Bowl, personally.
No.
Because a lot of them know what they're doing and a lot of them can make plays. That's how they get there in the first place.
Literally, Tom Brady was a game manager in his first Super Bowl. Come on now.
Okay.
Jesus.
That was his rookie year.
No
Turning the-
shit.
turning
It was
the
his
page.
second year. Okay, moving on.
Turning the page.
All right.
After all this Purdy talk, Gino, tell us, in your opinion, biggest MVP on the 49ers, McCaffrey or Purdy?
I think you got to give it to McCaffrey. I mean, that man does it all. I mean,
That
Purdy's
man-
making plays with his feet now, which is great. But McCaffrey is such a weapon that you can't not give it to the guy. I mean, he has what 27 touchdowns on the year, 23, somewhere between there.
Unreal.
It is mind-boggling. Thankfully, I had him on my fantasy team and I won the championship. But it is mind-boggling
No
having
one
a
cares.
player-
No one cares.
having a player that you can bet on that has a minus 2 or 300 to score a touchdown. It is crazy to
I
me.
mean, it's that adding him last year was the best move that the Niners did. I mean, it changed their whole dynamic. You freed up Debo to stop being your running back in the backfield. You let him make plays in the open field. And then Ayuk stepping up, now becoming that wide receiver one that the Niners needed. Yeah, he's not a true one, that 6'5", 6'7" guy you want to throw up to and lob to. But that doesn't matter because they all create space, and that just frees up for the game for McCaffrey to come up the middle, and then you have great backup in Elijah Mitchell whenever you need to give McCaffrey a break.
Just shout out to Carolina, you know. They had McCaffrey and
R.I.P. Carolina.
Thank you, Carolina, for the number 1 pick. Much obliged. But I do agree. I think McCaffrey just hands it away.
You
I
gotta
know
give him
Purdy's put up some great numbers and he's done it, but that kid is just, he's out of this world.
And this
He's
may
so
be another
amazing. And that
question.
trade-
I mean, sorry, I don't mean there, but speaking of MVP, I think you got to make a different award for
Yeah.
quarterbacks. I mean, it's too easy for a quarterback to win MVP, if I'm being completely honest. I mean,
Yeah.
make a new award for just quarterbacks and give MVP to somebody who actually is an
Isn't-
MVP like McCaffrey.
Isn't that what the Offensive Player of the Year award is?
No, it's the same
I-
concept though. Like the MVP can still win offensive player.
But they normally don't. Normally, it's
They
a
don't.
position player that wins the offensive player of the year.
Yeah.
Typically, that's kind of what I'm saying. Like the MVP is just now just like this quarterback award, and it just doesn't make sense. Should your best player or should your MVP be your quarterback? Yeah, but
Mhm.
MVP of the league. I mean, like sometimes there's defensive players that just change the dynamic of a team. There are running backs
100%.
or offensive players that change the dynamic of the team and lead them to where they become, and that should be the MVP. But it's
100%
all
agree.
focused on quarterbacks and how great they perform, unfortunately,
Yeah.
in my
I
opinion.
mean, if I'm being honest with you, I would rather McCaffrey win because I win more money, but Lamar winning isn't a bad thing either. I'm okay with either
No.
of them winning MVP. I win money regardless. But,
Yeah, the quarterback I was thinking of, it was Trent Dilfer. He was the game manager for the Ravens when they had that elite defense in 2000. Just bringing that back a little bit. But yeah, McCaffrey, I
More
agree
than
with
10
you.
years ago.
He's just out of this world, and man, he's definitely carried that team and that offense has just been elite. That's for sure.
I think
All right.
just to piss people off, give it to Purdy. I
We'll see.
I live in a world of chaos. Let me just get the fucking speech of Purdy. Mr. Irrelevant wins MVP. The title's already there. The
Are
Are
NFL
you talking
script has
Super
been
Bowl
written.
MVP?
Oh, well, that
No.
too. Sure.
Super
We were
Bowl MVP is
talking-
gonna be Taylor Swift, apparently.
I
At this
figured.
point,
We haven't got there. That's the question down the line. What is your biggest worry going in this game against the Chiefs?
defense. Like I said
That's a
earlier in the
good-
podcast, I don't like Steve Wilkes. I don't like how he plays defense. He never blitzed a quarterback, and
Mhm.
the Niners are not great in that zone coverage. They give up a lot of plays. They give up a lot of yards, and it's way too easy to get. It's way too easy to give up yards. I mean, you saw it against the Packers. Their run
And the
game was
Lions.
just and the Lions. I mean, they're running through them like nobody's business, and that's not what the Niners have been in the last 3 years. Robert Saleh blitzed the shit out of quarterbacks, and elite defense gave up very little points. I think he averaged like 21 points a game or less on defense, giving up. D'Amico Ryan did the same thing. Steve Wilkes says, "I'm going to come and just use your defense." He blitzed twice against the Packers. That stat came out after that game. He blitzed twice against the Packers. Twice.
Well, you have this stud former first overall pick in Chase Young. Like, why would you not rely on your defensive line to get
Because you're
to the
not getting to
quarterback?
the quarterback. You can't rush 4 every time. And one of them's going to get double teamed, and you can't rely on to get to quarterback every time. That's why you blitz. And you have 2 stud middle linebackers with Dre Greenlaw and Fred Warner. Why don't you send one of them in?
Chase
So
Young has been such a bust.
Do you feel though that even though the quarterbacks usually get most of the look in the Super Bowl, that this will be a defensive game?
I think it's going to be it's going to come down to who is playing better defense. Yeah. I mean, the offenses are both sides. Like, we all know what Patrick Mahomes can do. We all know how great Travis Kelce is. Rashid Rice is very underrated. I think he's scary. And we all know about the 49ers offense. You have Ayuk, you have Debo, you have Kittle, you have McCaffrey, you have Jawan Jennings, who's also that sneaky good player that no one really accounts for. If you're not playing good defense, neither one of those offenses can go off for a huge game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a running game as well. I think it's going to be Pacheco against McCaffrey. I just don't know if the Niners defense can stop them, and based on the last 2 games. And you know what? I don't. It's McCaffrey. It doesn't matter how good your defense is. He's going to get his yards. So I think it's going to be run heavy. So we'll see.
Okay. Talk about Pacheco. Have you seen anyone run angrier than Pacheco ever?
Marshawn Lynch.
True. But I don't think Lynch ran
I was
that.
gonna say that's the
this
easiest
man-
question I think that could have
This
been
man
brought up.
runs like the defense owes him money. He just runs into them like
He runs like he hates the ground. I mean, his feet look like they're
It's-
just
oh my
stomping
God.
every time. I was going to say,
Good for
LeGarrette
him, but
Blount was a
also-
pretty angry runner.
He was, but he was bigger too. Like, I don't think they're in the same like height range. He seems smaller at least. But like,
Pacheco
oh my
is
God,
definitely
you know.
smaller. I would agree.
Yes,
Yeah.
LeGarrette Blount was huge.
Yeah.
All right.
So was
Is
Lynch,
this
yeah.
is this a must win for Kyle Shanahan?
Yes, I think it's a must win. This is his second Super Bowl appearance. First one did not go down great. I don't think if we're talking about losing a job, no, I don't think he's going to lose a job over this.
No, I'm talking about being one of the greatest head coaches, getting to that next level echelon, not like will he get fired? No.
I think so. I think this is a must-win at this point in his career. I mean, they've gotten close. They've been in 4 of the last 5 NFC Championship games. They've been in 2 of the. This is now the second one. 2 of the last 4 Super Bowls. I think at this point you got to put your name down in history and win this one.
Okay. We always talk about this. I'm sorry, guys, I'm doing this, but so we always talk what's success in NFL, right? Is it Super Bowl or bust? You guys are almost a dynasty. Like you've been in 4 out of the 5 NFC Championship. Do you consider Kyle Shanahan and 49ers successful franchise? Or like, at the end of the day when they lose in NFC, are you like thinking how does it feel? Like is it we were talking about a Bills fan. Yeah. Is it worse than being a Bears fan?
I think it's worse than a Bears fan.
We're not relevant.
I think it's worse because you're right there and you're not finishing the season, right? 4 out of 5 times, and you're in the Super Bowl twice. You're right there, and you just got to get over that hump. I think if let's use the Browns as the example. Being a Browns fan is tough, but in and out every season, they're not good until this year when they're 11-4 at the end of the season. Like that is a successful season, right? You look at it that way. That's success. For the Niners, when they've been consistently good, if they're not making the Super Bowl or if they don't win this year, it doesn't look like a successful season. It really just depends on like what your years past have been.
That's true. I mean, I guess when you have so much winning, like you said, 4 out of the past 5 years, and you don't get to where you want to get, I guess at some point it's going to be a disappointment, right? Maybe that first few were, damn, this is awesome. This is success, right? But then eventually it gets to the point where it's like, okay, we've been here, done that. Now we need to get to the next step. Otherwise, it's just going to be shit. We don't have those problems over here in Chicago.
See, we knew that was going to be hard, Gino, so we don't even care. We just don't even make it to postseason.
I mean, Boop, you had a good point about the Bills. I mean, the Bills, what does success look like for them? I mean, they just can't get over their kryptonite of Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Speaking of Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes.
I'll get it right. Patrick freaking Mahomes.
I can change the agenda how I want to change the agenda. Like, I don't understand how he just keeps doing what he's doing with the Chiefs and how he keeps winning. Like, I don't know. It's amazing to me.
He gets a lot of help from the guys in stripes. Let me just leave it out there.
Whoa.
Wow. Spoken like a true 49er fan, getting his excuses ready.
I'm sorry. If you watch the Ravens game and you see some of the calls they had, I mean, it's hard to like not look at it that way and to like they want the Chiefs in that game. Like there are some Zay Flowers is taunting at the end of the game. Yes, it was taunting. Was it dumb? Yes. You look earlier in the game, Travis Kelce did the same exact thing. No penalty flag. The PI call that got Kansas City back into the red zone. Soft.
Were you in on the conspiracy theory for last game? Were you aware of it?
Which about the Ravens supposed to win?
No, about the officiating crew for the game.
I don't know if I've heard it.
So the officiating crew for the Ravens Chiefs game is the only officiating crew in the National Football League that has a sub 500 record for the home team. So historically, they have a 40% winning percentage for the home team and a 60% winning percentage for the away team.
Well, it showed. That's true.
It did. Showed. I looked and I laughed so hard because I was like, it was like 9 penalties for like 100 yards and then Ravens like 3 penalties for like 30. I was like, this is hilarious. We'll see.
Terrible. It's terrible. I mean, there's also that PI the missed PI at the end of the game where they tackled Odell Beckham in the end zone and they picked it off. I mean,
yeah. Hopefully, I'm hoping we don't have a official dominating game. Hopefully, they let the players play. But you know what? What he's doing with the weapons, yes, I know Rashid Rice has come on, but like, it's crazy that he's done something this year with a wide receiver that isn't even close to he's probably worse than our number 2 wide receivers that the Bears has ever done. He's thrown for 4,000 yards.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's nuts that he just
I don't want
keeps
to take
producing.
away from Mahomes. He is a great quarterback. Like I will say he is a great quarterback. It's hard not to give him credit. He makes a lot of ridiculous plays.
Yeah.
But
he's kind of
it comes to a point,
that,
man.
Yeah, he's kind of getting to that Brady level, I think. Like, remember when Brady won with just Gronk and Edelman, and sometimes they were even hurt. But like, he would also Brady would play the game. He would talk to the refs and have that going. Mahomes does that every game too. He just talks, gets some calls that you're not supposed to get. It happens every time with him. So I see why. I see why you say that every time too. No, that's fairly fair. Let's talk about the Kansas City defense. I think that's an interesting matchup there. They have been, again, giving Mahomes the flowers. I think the defense, Mahomes, I can say, has been a game manager. He only threw ball outside of Kelsey to a wide receiver 6 times or something like that last game. He was actually a game manager. Just throw to Kelsey, making safe throws and things like that for the most part. So, Ravens made a lot of mistakes, but they've shut down one of the best rushing teams in the league last game. That's, I think, a key matchup. Does that scare you? How do you feel about that defense going up against Purdy and Gang?
I'm not too scared about the Kansas City defense. I mean, you got to watch out for one guy on that team, on that front line, and that's about it. And I mean, if he's in front of Trent Williams, I mean, I'm taking Trent 9 times out of 10. I mean, that man is a monster, and you put Christian behind him, he's gonna find a hole and get 10 or 15 yards easy.
Isn't Chris Jones a DT though? Isn't he a tackle?
Yeah.
I think he's a defensive tackle. I don't think he's an edge.
Cannot
so
confirm.
We'll see.
It's one of those teams. If he wants to,
either way, I'm not.
It's crazy. Jones. It's crazy. I was listening to some of the stats on this defense, and some of their stats are better than the Ravens, and they have been an historic defense. I think these Chiefs defense, just for so long, it's been carried by number 15, that I think they're very underrated, their ability. And I think for the most part, they just haven't gotten their due. I would not even count the Ravens game, because you look at all these mistakes that the Ravens made. You can't really give it all the credit to them, but I think they have been, they're almost the better side of the ball on this team. So it'll be an interesting play on how it goes, and if they show up, and if they can get to the quarterback, if they can stop CMC. I don't know how it's going to go, man. It's going to be a good one, and I'm hoping for a good one.
That's all I want. I want a close game. I don't want a blowout on either side. Obviously, a blowout for the Niners, but just bring my stress levels down. I mean,
yeah, we would love a blowout for the Niners. That's for sure.
I have been tense the last 2 weeks.
Not to be the guy that keeps kind of poking the bear on this. Aren't the 49ers primed to get blown out though, given the pressure and the whole Kyle Shanahan thing? If a blowout was to happen, can you see it being more on the bad side for the 49ers?
I can. Yeah. I know there's been instances with Kyle not making the right calls. I think this is a different team that Kyle has. He has a lot more weapons and leaders on that team at his disposal than he has had in years past. I think this is going to be one of those years. If it's a blowout, it's gonna go in the Niners' favor. I mean, there's been too many good players coming in and out of this team, this organization. They're not gonna let that happen again, especially after the way these last two played.
Do you feel like the 49ers window is small, or do you feel like you have a good couple of years to be competitive for future Super Bowls?
I think they got to do it this year or within the next 2. You got to do it while Brock's on his rookie contract, while you have the money to pay some of these big time guys.
But getting back to the previous question, I think the Niners have to get out to a hot start, because if they do what they did against the Packers and the Lions, I don't know if they win this game, because the Lions was historic in itself, that comeback. But even the Packers, they meddled along. The Packers couldn't have put them away, and then they got one good drive at the end of the game to win it. I just don't know if they don't bring their A game front and foremost if they can get this done. So I think the first half does play a big role in how this outcome of this game goes.
I mean, like we've said, it's going to come down to how the defense starts. Defense has had a shitty start the last 2 games, and if it continues that trend, then Mike, I hate to say, but I might agree with you on that. It's going to be a lot harder to come back against the Chiefs than it is the Detroit Lions and the Packers.
Sorry, I hate to do this to you guys, but I just had another prop bet come up in my head that we did not talk about. The opening kickoff. Is there a return?
You're gonna affect.
Oh, that is a good one.
I thought I was gonna ask a question right now about like kicking. Like, how do you feel about, because the playoffs kicking has been very much a topic of discussion. Do you feel like it can come down to a kick? And then I'm like, oh my god, opening kickoff. So sorry, but there's my question to you.
Opening kickoff.
Will it be a touchback?
Will it be a touchback?
Yeah, probably.
Nope.
I think so.
But-
We're running that bitch out, baby. I want to be the guy. It's the fucking Super Bowl.
Looking at the line, I think kicking decides it at the end. It's a 2-point game, so I think like either to take the lead or something. I think kicking is the end of the game.
I agree. I hate to say it, but I think it's going to come down to which kicker is on their game that day.
All right, let's get into it. Final score predictions. Gino, you're the guest. You're first.
Let him choose. Do you want to go first or last, being that your team is in it? Do you want to hear
go first?
our
And I already know, but I think it's going to be 31-28 49ers. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it is going to come down to that last kick.
Let's go.
You trust your kicker to hit it?
I trust dude, Money Moody. I think he's going to be fine.
Hey, listen, you say that, but ain't nothing good as Robbie Gold, baby. All right.
Oh, good as
Good as
gold.
gold.
I
Good
do
as
miss
gold,
him.
baby.
But Moody has been great. Yeah, he's had a rough couple games, but I think he's going to bounce back and be fine.
All right, I'll go. 28-24 Niners.
Ooh.
Boopin?
Sorry, what was it? 28 what?
24.
Okay, I'm only saying this because I have a bet on, but I'm gonna say Chiefs 31, Niners 21. Just because of the bet, I'm gonna
A
review the
10-point loss.
Again,
Boopin. I don't
it's
know
a
if I
bet.
could join the trio positivity cast again after that kind of statement.
Ooh.
Hey, if I win, I'm gonna donate the money. Okay, it's a lot of money. If I win, I hope I lose. I truly want the 49ers.
I do too.
I thought I was
Hi,
going to be the
Chris.
odd one out and just pick the Chiefs, but fuck, Boopin. 10 points.
Nothing. Like Vegas is not predicting it. No one's predicting it. So I'm kind of on my limb.
I know you guys are saying that this is going to be a defensive game, and the scores that you guys are giving really doesn't. I mean, I guess the under would be hit on all of your guys' prediction except Boopin's, right?
No.
Yep.
No.
What's
No.
the under?
47, right?
47. The over would hit.
Oh my god. Okay, I thought it was. My apologies. I thought it was a different number. I think I wanted to say a blowout, but I'm not gonna be that. I think both defenses are gonna flunder. I think it's probably the highest scoring game in a Super Bowl. I'm gonna go 42-39 Chiefs.
Oh,
Wow, that would be a fun game.
That's a
And
high scoring game.
It's a high,
Chris.
but here's the reason I say that. I
Are
think
you
there's gonna
accounting for
be,
overtime?
Yeah, I think it's gonna go into overtime. But I also think that I saw somewhere that the field for that stadium is really good.
yeah, it's fast. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Kelsey is gonna go nuts. I think McCaffrey is gonna go nuts. The defenses, there'll be adjustments, but I think the first half you're gonna see probably very high scores, and I want it to be exciting. I think the way you make it exciting, I expect a lot of penalties. Expect a lot of all of these like
penalties.
Yeah, I think
Man.
it's some, because penalties in Super Bowls are kind of like stigma. So I feel like Purdy's gonna go off for like 4 touchdowns. I think Mahomes and him are gonna go head to head on that, and I think the only difference is going to be the defense of like who can hold that last drive and whose kicker can get out there. And I think it's going to be Kansas City.
Okay. Wow.
All right, Super Bowl MVP. I think it's gonna be CMC.
Oh wow. I think I saw that, Miller. Never give it to a running back. Remember the 28-3 comeback? Like the running back scored 3 touchdowns. They still give it to Brady. I think the last time Chiefs won, the running back had 3 touchdowns, Damian Williams, and they never give it to a running back, even if he's the best player. So that's very bold.
This is CMC though. This isn't just some scum off the street.
Some running back.
I know it's going to be counterintuitive for me to do this, but can I pick a MVP for each team or just the actual?
No, actual.
Well, okay, fine. The script says Kelsey.
Chris and I are on the same page.
Chris follows the script. I mean,
dude, if Kelsey wins MVP, he's proposing. Both of them, Taylor and Kelsey, are getting a ring.
See, I'm not even bringing that up. Here's the reason I'm saying Kelsey. I think if you're going to have a blowout game, that tight end is going to be like, he's going to have like 12, 15 receptions for like 160, 170 for a tight end. Like in a Super Bowl, you don't see that.
Same page, Chris.
Are we? You're thinking the same?
I get what you just told me about CMC, but I have a hard time seeing a wide receiver get it because of that factor. Because everything the wide receiver does, or the tight end in this case, the quarterback gets credit for. So I feel like the quarterback will get the credit in that case. Whereas CMC can have some rushing touchdowns.
But I'm sorry, did we not vote on Super Bowl MVPs? Is that not a fan vote either? Or am I confusing?
Hey, my pick was critiqued. Oh, are you just talking in general?
I'm talking in general. I thought
I don't think it's popular. I don't think it's fan vote.
No.
Here's what I think happens. If 49ers win, like I feel like it's a balanced game. All of them maybe shine. Purdy might get it. That may be, I think, if 49ers win, defensive player gets it. Is my
Chase Young. I think he's 80,000 to 1.
I don't know, Ward. Like, give it to Ward. Give it to the linebacker. You know, like there's plenty of good. Fred Warner, right?
Yep, Fred Warner.
Yeah, he like set the record for, like I think one of those two players. If 49ers win, I think they shine. Maybe a run back for a touchdown or something like that. I think.
But your official pick is with me and Kelsey.
Yes, sir. I put money on him being the first touchdown and over. So let's do it.
Jesus.
All right,
first overall or first Chiefs?
First overall.
Oof.
That's tough. I always feel like the field goal is first. I don't know why, but
that wouldn't count towards first touchdown. He's saying first touchdown.
Okay, my bad. I'm sorry.
Of the game.
I'm sorry. Got you.
My Super Bowl MVP is Mr. Relevant, number 262, Brock Purdy.
I put it down even before you said anything. I knew that.
It has to be. It's gonna be. He's gonna show out. I know he is.
All right. Gina, we do positive rating, right? So it's like 0 to 10. 10 being you win the Super Bowl, I guess. And like 0 or 2 or 1 being like, you pick number 1, like the Bears are. So what's your positive rating that the Niners get the win? So how confident
Oh, okay. I see how you guys are posing the question. I was like, how do we do that for... Okay, that makes sense.
I'm just gonna quote one of the greatest movies of all time, Varsity Blues. A 10! A 10!
Right.
No doubt. Or do you have some doubt though? Like, because
he's full of shit.
A 10! A 10!
So you're see, I always tell Miller, which he always criticizes me. The positivity score for me is a grading scale, like you're in high school or a little bit of college. So you're 100% certain.
I'm confident. I'm not worried. They've had their 2 weeks.
He's a 49er fan. What do you expect?
Yeah, seriously.
I ain't got no doubts.
Us Bears fans know what it's like to still have confidence and still say our positivity rating is like a 7. So I'm just saying, like we
no one got up to a 7 on this fucking podcast, bro.
I'm staking at a 10.
The guy that's
I got
on my end, Boopin is down here. But you mean to tell me that this guy's never done a 7 on the Bears before?
Hang on. Bears and 49ers are different leagues, okay? We don't even play in this
It's a
league.
whole nother level.
Thank
all
you.
right?
Yeah. We don't even belong
No
in
offense
the
to the Bears.
conversation.
I feel like this
Oh,
question though is.
Don't
catered
worry.
to
Once we have
Gino,
Caleb Williams, we'll be right there with you.
Yeah, see you next year in the Super in
The-
the championship game.
I feel like this is tailored. See what I did there? To Gino though for the Niners thing. I think because I have Chiefs. Boopin, who do you have?
Chiefs.
So like for me it's like how positive the Niners would win. Like I said, if it's gonna be a high scoring game, I'm at a 6-7 for the Niners.
Nobody cares about us. It was all about him.
Well, I'm a 6-7 for the 49ers, and I'm like a 7-8 for the Chiefs.
Miller.
What? That doesn't make sense.
It's a high scoring game. I can
It's
never
high.
predict
How
it.
confident are you that a team wins?
Well, I don't have them winning.
So if
That's
you
why the
took the
question is
Chiefs to
tailored.
win, so you would
That's
be
what-
how high of confidence do you have that the Chiefs win? That would be
Are you
your
100%?
guess.
Yeah. Are you 100%? Are you
No.
are you a C or D? Are you a
I
I'm like
literally
a
said 6-7.
5.5.
I literally said 6-7 for. The,
I might.
For the Chiefs.
I'm probably gonna take the Chiefs +7.
Oof. You're gonna do a possible push in the Super Bowl? I would do a 7.5 or 6.5. Good God.
6, fine, 7.5.
Okay, 7.5.
But I am just barely overconfident. I think it'll be a close game, and I think the Niners get it done because I think they're the more complete team, and I think the magic of Mahomes might run out.
I hope so.
You-
The $500 million man
from my
only
heart.
has so much.
From my heart. From my heart. I've done a lot of 49er slander. I hope you guys beat Mahomes, okay? I hope you guys do. I'm rooting for you guys. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, Boopin.
All right, let's end this shit.
All right, people. Thank you for tuning in. I think it was a long episode, but we had fun talking with Gino, talking 49ers, Chiefs. We hope it's a good game. It's no blowouts, right? Like hopefully it's competitive. Maybe a kick at the end will like seal the game. But hey,
Taylor gets there.
Taylor gets there, and hopefully it doesn't get a ring at the end. So thanks for tuning in. We will be back next week. We'll talk about some more sad Bears, but good stuff. I think we'll talk about the draft picks. So there were some hits there. Again, thanks for tuning in. We'll keep trying to find positivity within the Bears. But otherwise, we'll suffer in our misery together. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for coming.
Get some sleep.
We have to keep going until the song ends. And those watching on the live stream, thank you so much for attending. We appreciate it. We actually had decent numbers, had a couple people come in. So thank you so much. And we will see you guys next time on the live stream. Adios.